bit of a roundup with me, Paul Brophy.
And me, Roisin Cleric.
And Roisin, we're joined by Fine Gael TD for Carlow Kilkenny, Catherine Callaghan. Catherine, it's been a while since we spoke. You've been a TD since early December. I suppose 1st of December you were officially elected to the Dáil. It's nearly 7 months. How have things been over that period of time?
It's been a massive learning curve, but it's been such a privilege. And I'm really enjoying the experience. I'm really enjoying the role. Yeah, as I say, it is a challenge, but it's the kind of small wins that keep you going, and it's the opportunity we have to help regular normal people. Like I was a regular normal people person, and I still am. I'm very attached to my community, but I suppose it's been lovely to develop that same relationship with people outside of my immediate community, and in fact all across Carlow and all across Kilkenny as well, right down as far as Ferrybank, almost in County Waterford. So it's such a privilege and an honour, and I'm still feeling that. And even though you might think after 7 months actually you're used to it now, but every Tuesday morning when I drive in that gate in Leinster House, I'm like, I can't believe that this is where I get to work, even though a lot of my work of course is done on Saturday and Sunday. My PA was saying to me today, now you need to take the 20th off. You haven't had a day off in 15 days. And I thought, but my daughter's having a birthday party on the 20th, so I won't be taking that day off either. It'll be a fun. And it doesn't feel like work. I actually would need somebody to say to me, you've been working for 15 days straight, because the simplest way for me to say it is it doesn't feel like work. It's a pure privilege.
And we were also talking to your colleague, Councillor Pat Dunphy, and he was saying that you even go down to Mooncoin, and that they really appreciate you coming all the way from Carlow all the way down to South Kilkenny.
Oh, sure. Look, that's my role, my job. I have such an affinity for the councillors across Kilkenny. They really are wonderful people. And I know if they ask me, can you please come, I will go with a heart and a half. And I will support them, because I know that they are the voice of their communities. And I mightn't have time to get around to every single individual household all across Carlow and all across Kilkenny. But the next best thing to doing that is making sure that I am there with the councillors that do have the opportunity to go around and knock on every single door and be in every single household across their municipal districts, which they represent really well.
And Deputy Catherine Callaghan, you were a former SNA before you took up your role as a Deputy and TD here in Leinster House. You've also really brought that background into your role straight away. You were very vocal about people living with disabilities, people living with autism, and anyone with the 4Ds, dyslexia, dyscalculia, dyspraxia, and dysgraphia. So you've really brought that expertise into the Dáil chamber.
Yeah, and that was, I suppose, part of the essence of myself, and part of what I said when I was asking people to put their trust in me and to vote for me, was that I'm just a regular, normal, grassroots type of a person. And it's really important that regular, normal, grassroots experience is reflected in the chamber. One of the reasons I wanted to stand for the Dáil was that I didn't see regular, normal, grassroots people like me in the chamber, people who had worked as SNAs. I was the first ever SNA elected to Dáil Éireann. People who worked as I wouldn't even say work, but I was a family carer, so that kind of lived experience where you're really like rubbing up against the raw humanity of another really helps you to understand what it means to struggle in this world. And I think it's really important that our national Dáil has the voice of somebody who understands what it is to struggle in life, what it is to worry about where the cost of groceries are coming. I know it's often levelled at politicians that we live in some sort of a bubble that don't understand or worry about the cost increases in our groceries. Like, I'm acutely aware of that. I know exactly. I even say it to my children and my husband when we're in shopping. I can remember, I remember that being 50 cent less, and it's not that long ago. The price of milk has gone through the roof, the price of bread, the price of butter, don't get me started. Oh my goodness. And I know in Ireland we're very lucky to have really good top quality products, and our the food that we find on our shelves is really good. Like, but it's a struggle. It's a struggle for a lot of people,
Yes.
and I'm aware of that.
€5 for something for a pound of butter.
Oh yeah, of Kerrygold. I know,
Half
I
a pound
know.
of butter.
Yeah, I know.
Pound of butter.
Well, I have.
And it's made here in Ireland.
Yeah, I know exactly, Roisin.
And we're standing outside, and Paul and I only noticed
Yeah,
this,
you only
the Guaranteed
spotted it.
Irish office
Yep.
here, and we only noticed that this morning. And I've been talking about buying Guaranteed and the 80s, 1980s campaign of, because I was at school in County Kildare, the Guaranteed Irish, buying Guaranteed Irish. Should we go back to that, or should the Fine Gael bring a campaign of going back to supporting your local producers, supporting your local businesses?
Yeah, I think that Fine Gael have been very vocal in that, in making sure that we support Indigenous industries and local producers. And I know even as part of that, even in Carlow, there's a very strong campaign about shop local, shop Carlow, made in Carlow. Just like we have Guaranteed Ireland, make sure our Irish, make sure it's made in Ireland when you're purchasing it. I think. And another thing that's getting really good work by Carlow County Council is the circular economy and reduce, reuse and recycle. And that helps us then to invest in, have a greater awareness, I should say, of where we're spending our money, and understand as well that if you spend the money in a local shop on local products, that you are supporting you're supporting the local economy, but you're also keeping jobs local. And I think that that's really, really important. And I would like to see that continue to be a feature in the upcoming budget as well.
And it's also a way of supporting local businesses, supporting the local economy, but most importantly, supporting local jobs. And sometimes it's the students, but more importantly, it's also supporting mothers who are working in in between school hours from maybe 10 to 2 or 3, so when they come back, their children are they're home for their children.
Yes, absolutely. And that's really, really, really important, because you're getting that life. I'm sorry now, I got a tiny bit distracted there by the protests in the background, but you're supporting, I think, if I understand you correctly, then it's also about supporting that work-life balance, home life, and you're hitting you're ticking an awful lot of boxes in that. You're supporting local, you're keeping local jobs, you're ensuring that people who are at home looking after children, that they're also having that opportunity to be out and about in the community, getting that balance, but still having time to be at home with their children, with their family.
And thank you, Deputy Catherine Callaghan, for taking the time to speak to the Irish Political Roundup.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you, Roisin, and thank you very much, Paul. Thank you.
And thank you, the listeners, for taking time to listen and to watch the Irish Political Roundup.
Goodbye for now.